Recording.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our service learning brief. I'm Cadet Captain Hembrough. This is Cadet Captain Winnett, Cadet First Sergeant Schofield, Cadet First Sergeant Jones, Cadet Corporal Nowlin, and Cadet Cox. A little bit about me is I'm currently at Let 4 here at Webb City High School. During the service learning brief, I coordinated with the other company commander and the First Sergeant to execute the project. To plan to execute the project. I was a drill team member my freshman year. My sophomore year, I was a platoon leader, which is a Let 3 position, and I was only a Let 2. This year, I'm Let 4, and I'm a company commander. Outside of school, I'm involved with Joplin Police Explorers. I've been there for a year and a half. I'm working on my second year. I'm actually testing out for a corporal position here in the next few weeks. After high school, I plan on to go to Missouri Southern to become a math teacher so I can teach high school students. That's what I want to do.
Hello, I'm White Company Commander Captain John Winnett. I'm a Let 4 here during the service learning program project. My job was to coordinate with my company First Sergeant and the other company command to coordinate ideas and get plans running for the project itself and make sure that anything that comes along the road, we resolve it. A little bit about myself. I am a drill team member here at the ROTC program, and I'm a former Navy junior ROTC cadet, and I was a cadet petty officer second in class, ending my freshman year. I'm also the parliamentary officer for the Young Republicans Club here at Webb City High School. And after high school, I plan on going into the Army, and then also know that I'm going to be a pastor like my granddad.
I'm Cat First Sergeant Schofield. I'm a Let 3, and this year I'm First Sergeant. My sophomore year, I went through three different positions: First Squad Leader, Third Squad Leader, and a Platoon Sergeant. This is my second year as a drill team member, and during school I played clarinet in the Cardinal Pride Band, and after high school I plan on joining the Marines.
I'm the White Company First Sergeant Cadet First Sergeant Jones. I'm a Let 3. My role in the service learning project is to pretty much help set up and execute the process, making sure everything gets from point A to point B that we need to take. This year I'm this White Company First Sergeant. Last year as a sophomore, I was a Command Sergeant Major with Battalion, and right now I'm currently the Honor Guard Commander. Outside of school, I'm in charge of my church's sound system and slideshow presentation. And then after high school, I plan on joining the Air Force and becoming a cryptologic linguist. And after that, possibly teaching as a teacher for language.
What language do you want to learn?
Right now, I'm taking French classes, but when I get there, they say not to have previous experiences to a language because it can mess up sometimes.
Yeah. They're going to send you to Monterey, California. A buddy of mine dropped out of school. He was a major.
I'm Cadet Corporal Nowlin. I'm a Let 2 here in the ROTC program. During the service learning project, I'm going to be guiding the Let 1s, making sure that they go through all that they're supposed to do accordingly. I am Red Company 3rd Platoon 2nd Squad Bravo team leader. I was a former member of the rifle team, as we do not have one this year because of our absence of the colonel. I'm also a member of French Club, and after high school, I plan on going to college to become a computer engineer.
I am Cadet Cox, and I'm a Let 1. My role in the service learning project this year is I'm going to be the demonstrator and overseer for all of the activities, and I'm also going to be the direct cadet trainer between the 8th graders and the Corps. I am in 3rd Platoon of White Company, and I'm in 1st Squad. My goals for this year are to have a GPA of over 3.7 and to read at least 35 books. After high school, I want to get a degree in engineering and join the Army.
Does it count if you just listen to the books?
No.
Okay.
Alright, so for our service learning project, last year we had one, and it was a disaster. No one knew about it. Actually, some of the cadets that participated didn't even realize that they were participating in a project. And because of that, we'd like to improve and make this one better. And as of recent, our LET 1s, or incoming freshmen, have had a lot of trouble with their classes, many of which they actually fail at least one. So we'd like to help that by taking a few of our cadets down to the junior high school and helping to prepare the incoming freshmen about how they can be better prepared for high school, how they can organize their stuff, manage their time better, be prepared for the expectations for when they get to high school, and stuff like that, work as a team with their cadets. We also think this will be a great benefit to our community by having a much better set of high school graduates.
So for orientation, we're going to have this during January on every Tuesday and Thursday. This will hold the 25 people that are going to it will be the 25 cadets chosen to go there. We'll put them in groups of 5, so altogether 5 groups. Those that are chosen will be selected from their personal skills maps and winning colors. And for the ones that we are looking for, all of the cadets going have to have at least self-esteem, drive strength to continue on, commitment ethic so they don't drop out or say they don't want to do it anymore. For LET oriented for each LET level, LET 1 will have to have sales orientation. That way they can easily communicate with the 8th graders that they're going to be teaching. LET 2, since they're going to be watching over the LET 1s, they'll need to have stress management, making sure they are able to take the pressure of keeping the LET 1s in check, and also time management, making sure the LET 1s are doing things on time. And then LET 3 and 4, we'll have to have all of that, plus also decision making, since there will only be one of them there to help out. So if something goes wrong, they'll have to be prepared to take action and get it fixed quickly. And then with the winning colors, we're looking for LET 1s to have blue, or the relating color, that way again so they can relate better to the 8th graders. Brown for the LET 2s because they need to be able to build and work with the LET 1s they're going to be watching over. And then for LET 3 and 4, they need to be planners because, again, they'll be the ones making sure everything's getting placed properly and getting to A and B. Some of the activities we have planned are the $86,000 plan, which is for time management. This pretty much is the thing. We would say, okay, you have $86,000, you can spend it however you want, but you cannot put it into a bank, and you cannot, and all the money that you do not spend goes away. And after they do this, we'll give them about 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, we'll tell them in a day you only have 86,000 seconds. Every time you put money into only one thing, that's that. You can't take it away. And the time you spend doing other things that are not as important, you will never get that back. Then you have through the lava, which will be your team working skills. They'll be given materials to try to cross an area we'll deem as the lava. You can't touch the ground, and they won't be able to talk. So they'll have to find a way to travel and communicate on how to get from point A to point B. And then the last one is messy binder. It's more of this is organizational skills. We'll hand them a binder with papers that are frayed and out of shape, and they'll have to put it together in proper order and organize it to where it needs to be. Because a lot of high schoolers today just kind of throw papers into their binders and then go, I'll fix it later, and never get it. For training, we will pretty much be having the cadets that are chosen to go, again from the selected group. We'll be teaching them these activities and also a little bit more information behind it. That way they can understand why they're teaching those certain activities. That way one of the 8th graders does have a question, they can answer to the best of their abilities or even farther than what we expected. We'll be doing these things. We'll be training again in January, every Tuesday and Thursday, here in the ROTC room. And pretty much we'll have to make sure they also understand the structure of the plan, and they're all staying the same since there are going to be different groups growing each time. And pretty much throughout this, when we're training them, we're going to make sure teamwork is used because it's so vital that if one person of the team is not going to do their job, it's going to be hurt the rest of them because they're not going to be prepared to cover up for that one missing person.
Our preparation is primarily a lot of coordination with the staff. PS1, we're gonna have them keep record of attendance and then the events of each training day and of each execution. So that way next year when they're doing their service learning project and they need advice from someone who's done it, they can look back through those records and say, okay, this cadet helped with the service learning. He was one of the teachers. All right, let's get him in here and see what he can tell us to help us with ours. PS2 is going to be doing a brief with the junior high teachers over any safety concerns. Anything in the building that we need to be aware of, such as in the training area that we've selected, there's a little stage that if someone starts messing around on that, they could fall and really hurt themselves. DS3 is going to be arranging the transport and the sign-up list. That way we can get all of our volunteers and get them there in a timely manner. And with DS4, they'll be acquiring all the equipment, such as whatever tools we deem necessary for plastic lava or the messy binary organizers or any tables and chairs that we may need. And the S5 is going to photograph everything for the school newspaper to make sure everything is seen and everyone can look at it and appreciate what we've done in future generations of this report. And everything is going to be coordinated for this through the XO and the BC, making sure that we're not crossing any boundaries and all the chain of command lines are in place. The staff and company command will have to work as a team in order to make sure that nothing goes wrong in this list of tasks that need to be done.
What we're planning to achieve with the 8th graders is we're hoping to have their organizational and time management skills be improved. And we're also hoping that next year's students will understand the expectations of the high school better than we did this year. Because at the at the junior high, they have something called missing assignment reports, and that shows them what their grades are and if they're missing anything. They don't realize that it's not here. We're the ones who have to go to Power School and sign in and look and ask teachers if we're missing anything. With the cadets, we're hoping that they will become better teachers and leaders, and we're also hoping to reinforce their organizational and time management skills. The picture on the slide is one of the same they had on the CIP briefing. It's basically talking about the communication in between the leader and passing down orders or letting them know if anything goes wrong. They'll have to let followers know, and then the followers will give feedback to the leader and tell them if they need to change anything. And with both the cadets and the 8th graders, we're hoping to reinforce their teamwork skills. The Let One role in the service center project would be, essentially, we are the ones running the show. We're the ones gathering the ideas for activities and the lesson plans. We're going to be the direct trainers in between the 8th graders and the entire Corps of Cadets. And we will also be the demonstrators for all the activities and oversee them, because we don't know how the 8th graders learn best. There might be some that automatically know what we're talking about if we just say it, but there are others who won't understand at all if we don't show them.
So like I said earlier, us Let 2s, myself, and all the other Let 2s that will be attending, we will be overviewing the Let 1s, making sure that they're following the guidelines, giving them feedback, helping them, and just generally making sure that they're doing what they should do and making sure that they can do it as effectively as possible.
The role of the Let 3 is to, and they're supervising the trainers. The first sergeants make sure the equipment make it to the junior high, and you know, advise the cadet trainers. The role for the LEP 4s is the company commanders will coordinate and gather the material. They'll conduct their AAR for the next plan based off of their AAR.
Okay.
And now we're moving on to our structured reflection phase. And there's 3 parts to the structured reflection phase. There's a before, during, and after. In the before phase is the orientation and training phase. We gathered ideas from each company, and each company had one idea, and we came together and brought our ideas together and picked one of those ideas from the 2 ideas that we had. So we met and coordinated the ideas. We planned for the days of the execution. So we asked for Sergeant to see what we could do over at the junior high. She met with the junior high principals and asked them what we could do, what timeline, etc. that we could do to teach these guys to be prepared for high school. And also training days for our cadets, because we gotta have them on the same page to where they're all teaching the same material. The next is the during phase. So during the service learning project, we will have a set lesson plan of each day's taught. Again, that is also going to be taught at the training phase whenever we begin to train them. We will conduct a series of AARs, which are after action reviews, after each individual day. So that way, whenever we go the next day to the junior high, we can improve upon what we didn't do well. So if we didn't communicate well, or we didn't relate to them very well, we can improve upon that, and at least make an impact on them better. And we will incorporate the lessons and ideas that we have taught, that we've learned in class, and we'll make sure that we apply them there as well. And the final phase is the after phase. Overall, we will conduct an AAR. Again, that is an after action review. We will conduct a big AAR so that way next year the service learning team has a better understanding of kind of what they can do, give them kind of some ideas, give them some feedback on what they can do better or what they can improve. We use the data to also incorporate that in the classroom. So people that went over there and taught, they can come back to the classroom and share their experiences. And that'll also make them become better leaders as well. And again, we'll use that for next year's project to see what we can improve.
So pretty much an overall outline of the project thus far, currently, and what will happen is that we brainstormed ideas for the project itself. Originally, we had 2 ideas. We had this idea where we're going down to the junior high and prepping the 8th graders for their transition to high school. And another one was going down to the elderly home and helping out around there. We decided that our needs were best suited with the junior high, seeing as how we needed to have our LET ones learn how to become better teachers, and seeing how our next wave of freshmen need to have those organizational skills down set. So then we decided on that project, and from there we started putting it out to the battalion, gathering ideas from the LET 1s, 2s, and 3s, pretty much everyone, for ideas to put into the lesson plan and ideas to put into activities. We are still currently gathering that. And here before long, we'll start gathering the volunteers. We'll have the volunteer sign-up list out as we got all of that with the all of their personal skills maps kind of looked at, winning colors kind of looked at. We're going to start developing a lesson plan that way. Over like this Christmas break is when we're going to start developing a lesson plan. So that way we have that down set single thing that everyone's going to be teaching. That way no one's missing any vital information that one group's getting and the other one's not. Our training will start in January, right after Christmas break, on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school here for about 40-ish minutes, we'll be conducting that training. And then in February, we'll be executing. And again, it's going to be about 40 minutes over there at the junior high during their equivalent to study hall. Well, after we are done with our 5th day, because this is going to be over the course of 5 days in 5 little sections, we're going to conduct our final AAR to have everything ready to implement next year's class and next year's project. And now I'd like to invite you to ask any questions.
I don't have any questions. I will tell you, that was a very, very good briefing. I liked how when you said you had people volunteering, and you were gonna go back and look at their personal style inventory and their winning colors, I guess, or whatever it was.
Winning colors and personal skills.
So you can kind of pick and choose and put them where you need them?
Yes, sir.
I thought that was pretty good. You hit all the benchmarks in the rubric. You guys brief a lot better than Joplin did. I'll just tell you that right up front. Those guys, I mean, they're not terrible. They're okay. But you guys brief a lot better.
Well, thank you, sir.
Good eye contact, good good projection. So I don't have any questions. So I just got to tally up the score here, and I think who's going to go around for the brief?
It was the CM leaders, it was.
And the service learning.
And there's the last one.
People here.